Hi, my name's Dr. Robin Youngson. I'm the co-founder of the organization Hearts in Healthcare, and I've spent more than a decade traveling all around the world presenting about the importance of kindness and compassion in healthcare. Today it's a rainy Saturday morning. I just wanted to spend a few minutes sharing with you a couple of hints about how you can make truly impactful presentations to your audience and avoid some of the common pitfalls of using PowerPoint. Many people, when they're thinking about how to do a presentation, make a fundamental mistake, and that is to assume that their only job is to share information. When I'm thinking about speaking with an audience, I'm imagining that I'm taking those participants on three different journeys. I'm taking them on an emotional journey. I'm using a variety of techniques to really engage with their hearts and their emotions. And the most powerful way I can do that is to tell stories and to be vulnerable. I am taking them on a cognitive journey. I'm sharing surprising new knowledge, but that by itself never changes attitudes or behavior. And I'm also mindful of the level of energy in the room. Sometimes I'm going to be animated and bring the energy level up. Sometimes I'm going to be just really still and quiet. And sometimes I'm going to talk about kind of sad or difficult subjects and bring the energy level down. And I'm going to be very mindful of that. And I'm going to use images and stories and tone of voice and body posture to modulate the energy room. So that's three journeys you take your audience on: an emotional journey, a cognitive journey of information, and an energetic journey. It's really important to think of those three elements. So when I'm designing each slide in my presentation, I have three rules in mind. The first rule is the slide's got to have a powerful image. The second rule is it's going to have very few words. And the third rule is the slide's got to be connected to a story. So how do we find those images, and how do we design slides to be really eye-grabbing and get the attention of the audience? This is how you do it. So here's the daunting bit. You're faced with your first blank slide. How are you going to find inspiration? This is what most people do. They start creating text, and as PowerPoint suggests, they make it into bullet points and create a slide that looks something like this. So we'll just see how that goes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to swap between the editing view and the full screen view so we can see how our slides look. So I've just added a bit of text, and we'll make it a bullet point, and we'll increase the text size, and we'll have a look and see how that is. Not too inspiring, eh? So how can we do better? Well, let's get rid of that text box. We'll just delete that. And what we want to do is find some compelling images. Where are we going to get great images from? Well, you can find lots of images for free on Google, but you can't just use images that belong to other people. You need to select images that are royalty free. So let's just do a selection, a search for images, patient in hospital, and we're going to click on tools and then usage rights, and we're going to click on the option for labeled for reuse. So these are images that are freely available for you to use, so they have no royalties, they have no rights on them. So here's a great image of a happy pediatrician and a happy patient. So we're just going to copy the image. We're going to just paste it into our PowerPoint slide. And so here's the beginning. Now, quite a lot of this image is just stuff around the edges that we don't want. It's going to be more compelling if we zoom into the faces. So we'll just have a look at that. Yeah, that's certainly looking better. We can adjust a little more, move it a little to the left, because that badge on the doctor's arm is a bit distracting. Now we're going to add just a few words of text. And we'll just put a text box there and add some text. And pretty soon you're going to see there's a problem, because we've got black text. It shows up nicely on the white background of the sheet, but it's going to run over the shoes of this little boy here, and it's going to be really hard to read that text. So let's just adjust the text, center it, make it a bit bigger, and let's have a look on the screen. How is that going to appear? Whoops, I've got the text off the bottom of the slide, so we'll just move that up a bit. and have another look. No, still not quite right. If we move the picture up a bit, then that's going to be better balanced and give some room for the text. So we'll just shift that up a bit. We'll have another look. So this is a really good hint to keep swapping between views so you can make sure that what the audience is going to see is what you really want. Now, you notice that some of that text was hidden when it went over the black shoes of the boys. So we're going to do a really neat thing here. We're going to just create a rectangle, and we're going to get rid of the default line, just have no line, and we're going to create a graduated mask. So what I mean by that is that I'm going to create a mask that fades from completely transparent through to white. So just we choose each end of the mask. So we choose white there. So we've got a graduated mask here. And then we just need to push that back so it sits behind the text. And now let's have a look, see. So we've blanked out, shaded out a little bit of the image, and that has made the text really much more readable. And this is a very simple and easy technique you can use. And if we wanted to do that on the side of the picture rather than the bottom, we could just rotate that box 90 degrees and use that graduated mask on the side. Okay, let's move on to a more somber subject about physician suicide and burnout. So let's find an image that would be appropriate for that. So we're looking for something kind of sad and somber. So we'll search on Google again, we'll search for depression. And here we got a whole pile of images. Once again, we're going to use tools and select images that are licensed for reuse. So that gives us a smaller selection now, and this is a pretty gritty black and white image. It feels sad, feels depressed, it's got the right emotional feeling. So we're going to copy that image. We're going to just paste that into our PowerPoint and just expand the image a bit so it fills the whole screen. And we're going to add some text to the bottom, but I want to emphasize that kind of darkness, emotional feel to the image. So we're going to add another graduated mask again. This time it's going to be black rather than white. So we create a rectangle, we format the shape, we get rid of the line because we don't want that shown, and then we choose fill and gradient, and both ends are going to be black, and one is going to be totally black and the other is going to be black but 100% transparent. And what that does is that produces that gradient. So we can just adjust that, we can make it taller, shorter, move it around. Now we've covered the bottom of the image with that graduation of black, and we're going to add white text to the image because white text can be really popping out on a black background. So we add some text, we enlarge it, we make it italics, we just get it centered nicely, we have a look, see how's that going to look on the slide. I'll make it a bit bigger first. Look. Yeah, that's looking pretty dramatic. So I think we'll move that text up a bit because we really want to have those two words centered in the image, really right in your face. And there's another little hint you can do. If you have white text on a background, you can really make it stand out some more just by adding a shadow to the edge of the text. So there we go. So now we have just a really compelling, gritty image, and you can tell a story about that. That's really going to engage with the audience. So that's just easy as. So I hope you enjoyed those really quick lessons on how to make great slides. At Hearts and Healthcare, we're just about to give the big PowerPoint slide giveaway, and every single slide in my collection I'm going to give away, and I'm going to encourage you to adopt my slides, put your own logo on them, tell your own stories, make your own slides to match, and you too can be a truly powerful presenter, spreading across the world the story and the importance of caring and compassion and kindness in healthcare. Thanks very much. Bye.